What's up, everyone? It's Ben from ProFixer, and I want to say thanks for downloading the free guide, getting the email, and being here watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you that's watching this right now. So I wanted to get into the guide really quickly. I'm going to elaborate a lot more in other videos that are coming up, so watch out for those. And I'll be sending those in an email as well, kind of going over more specifically each of the steps. But these are the 5 key points to making a great Facebook post. Keep in mind there's tons of different ways that you can make a great Facebook post, but generally they're all going to match the same criteria or the same elements as they go along. Just really generally, really quickly, you want to make sure that whenever you post, that people actually engage in a valuable way for you. So you want to make sure that your customers not only just like the post or share the post, that they actually come into your store and they actually exchange money with you. And that is the end result that you want. You could get so many likes, so many shares on whatever you do, but if people are not responding in a way that actually brings in money, then it's really not a very good marketing tactic. And so jumping into the first one, I put on here, ask a specific question. So asking a specific question is important because it's kind of two-part, because you want to make sure that it's specific and that it's a question. And in my experience, whenever you ask people a question, it gets them to ask themselves that question, and then they respond and act, or they respond and answer that question. So if you ask someone, do you have an iPhone 7 with cracked glass? They will then either answer yes or no. And that's the first step that you want. You want them to actually answer something in their head. So the ones with cracked glass, the ones with an iPhone 7 will say yes. And then they're ready for the next part that you give them. But you want to make sure that it's direct. And that's why I put iPhone 7. Make it model specific. We found that's very valuable. Number 2, make it short and valuable. The shorter that you can make it and the more valuable you can make it, the more likely it's going to be read and the more likely it's going to be acted upon. Remember, we want people to actually read and then interact with your post in a valuable way. So you want them to actually interact so much that they come into your store and participate in whatever services are being advertised or other services that they find out about because of what they saw advertised. And after you've asked a question, made it specific, made it short and valuable so they actually read it, make sure you call them to action. People, they won't actually do anything unless they're told to do something. We're pretty stubborn as humans, like everyone knows, so make sure you give them a clear call to action. So after you've done this, one of my favorite ways to get them to act is to say, message us today for a free quote. There's so much value in that particular phrase because it gives them a time frame, it tells them to do something, and then it gives them something of value. So it gave them a free quote, right? So that's attractive for a customer. It tells them to message you, so it tells them a direct way of contact. So it doesn't say contact, because that can mean call us, visit us, message us, text us. They don't know. Or they could say maybe there's a live chat on the website. It could get very confusing for the customer. You have to really think in their head. They're trying every excuse to make it overcomplicated and to avoid going to you. And it sounds weird, but they really are, right? Customers, you have to really compel them to come in. And so message us today for a free quote, and it gives them a time frame. So today, you want them to act today. And so whenever they see that, hopefully they act today. Along with that, on number 4, you want to make sure you provide a way to act. With this particular phrase of saying message us today for a free quote, Facebook actually provides a messenger button, and you can actually add that to your posts. And that will give the customer a way that they can immediately say message us today for a free quote, and there's a big old button saying message us. Very valuable. And then people land in your mailbox or in your inbox, and they are it's a very non-intimidating approach, that a way that they can approach you and ask you a question, versus having to drive all the way to your store. They have all these doubts in their head. Maybe you won't be there. Maybe they can't find your address. Maybe you're going to be rude. All these types of things they're going to put up in their head on why they shouldn't go. All these things are washed away by just saying message us, and then they get in your inbox, and then that's their first contact, and hopefully they come into your store after that. But it gives you a way that you can actually directly interact with them, and that's exactly what you want. Number 5 is post an image. That's where ProFixer comes in the most, is because we have tons of images that are awesome, and people really respond to those. So going right off of, number 2, Facebook is hugely full of just tons and tons of content from other people that are trying to advertise the same types of services, people's friends' posts, or, just really anything else that they have liked and it's rolling through their timeline. You want to make sure that it looks attractive, and that's where ProFixer comes in, is because all of our pictures look attractive. People are most likely going to stop on them, and then once they stop on them, you want to make sure that your message is short and sweet, but very valuable, and calls them to action so that they actually act and respond and come into your store. But these are just some of the 1 through 5. Feel free to go over the rest of them as well, because I did some examples on what you could do for some of these example photos. Feel free to copy and paste those into your ads manager and get those posted up and see the results from them. But look for the videos that we're going to be launching a little bit later. We'll send those out in email. We'll keep you all in the loop. But if you have any questions in the meantime, respond to the email or shoot me a message on Facebook, and we'll get you fixed up. But definitely appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a great one.